All right, so last problem here, last part of this response was asking at time t equals 4, is the rate at which tigers are spotted on the property of Carol Baskin increasing or decreasing? So like we've seen previously in this problem, we need to do some translation. What function is the rate at which tigers are spotted on the property of Carol Baskin? Okay, and that actually came from part G. The rate at which tigers are spotted was denoted by C prime of t. And we found that C prime of t was 4 minus 10 over t squared. So we're being asked in this question, what this question is asking is C prime of t, is that function increasing or is that function decreasing at t equals 4. Okay, and when we analyze whether or not a function is increasing or decreasing, what we need to do is calculate its derivative. So we need to look at c double prime of t, right? The second derivative of c of t. So before I do that, I might rewrite c prime of t in a little bit more friendly a way to help me figure out this derivative. C prime of t is the same thing as 4 minus 10 times t to the negative 2. When I take the derivative, I'm going to utilize power rule. So derivative of 4, that is 0. Then when I take the derivative of negative 10 t to the negative 2, I'm going to leave my coefficient, drop my exponent, and then decrease my exponent. Okay. So in that drop of my exponent, I get a coefficient of positive 20, and then that decrease of my exponent, I get t to the negative 3. So we have that c double prime of t is equal to 20 times t to the negative third. We can also recognize that as 20 over t cubed. Okay, so we need to figure out, is this function increasing or decreasing at t equals 4? Okay, so the next piece of this, we're going to go ahead and analyze c prime of 4. We see that that is equal to 20 over 4 cubed, and we can pretty quickly see that that is going to be greater than 0. Okay. You can calculate that out in the calculator, or you can recognize that 20 is positive, 4 cubed is positive, and a positive divided by a positive is also going to be positive. So since c double prime of 4, the second derivative of c evaluated at 4 is greater than 0, we can say the rate at which tigers are spotted at Carol's. Oops. How do I get that to go away? Not sure. Just ignore the keyboard. Since c double prime of 4 is greater than 0, the rate at which tigers are spotted at Carol's property is increasing. Okay, so really quickly we'll talk through where points came from. You got 1 point for a second derivative. Okay, so coming up with a second derivative. Now, if you got this correct second derivative based upon an incorrect first derivative, you got what I call follow-through points, right? You made a mistake in G, you miscalculated the first derivative, and then you used that and you got a correct second derivative with using that incorrect first derivative. So that was okay. I took that into consideration. You got another point for evaluating the point 4, right? So showing that you understood that 4 needed to be evaluated into something. And then you got a third point for your analysis of what that meant. Okay, so we have 1 point for a second derivative, another point for the evaluation of t equals 4, and then a final point for some sort of analysis.